is going on, guys? Another Toaster Tuesday. Thanks so much for stopping by the garage. Yeah, the rear bumper is still not on the car. Yeah, I know. I'm disappointed too. But my guy Randy's been super busy over at his shop. He just got finished painting his brother's truck, so hopefully the bumper's gonna get painted soon. And I stopped by there last week to check it out, and it's still obviously pretty rough. He went ahead and put the filler on, like I told you, between the lip and the bumper. He also put some body filler on the wing. So hopefully I'll be able to get over there sometime this week and we'll be able to get that project wrapped up. But for today's video, what we're going to be concentrating on is negative camber for the rear. So you guys know that I put some negative camber in the front. I put 2 degrees negative camber in the front using my little camber bolts. I did a video about that a couple weeks ago. But today we're going to focus on the rear. And let me show you why I need some negative camber in the rear. So here's a profile of the passenger side rear tire. And you know, it doesn't look so bad from this perspective. Obviously the tire is nice and straight up and down. But what happens is that when I go over big bumps, the tire is scraping into the fender lip. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to try to angle this tire in so that the tire will clear the fender when we go over big bumps. Alright guys, so let me give you a better idea of what it is that I'm talking about. I got the car jacked up and I'm jacking this wheel up here so you guys get a better understanding of what's happening when I'm hitting large bumps. You can see here I'm getting super close. Jack it up a little bit more. Alright, so as the suspension compresses, the tire gets up in there and boom, the tire is hitting the fender, which is leaving all of these gash marks. I don't know if you can see this. Do you see all those scratches in the tire? Yeah, that is the fender rubbing every time I hit a big bump. Now this has been going on for quite some time, because even with my old wheels, this was an issue. So hopefully today we can fix this by adding that negative camber and dipping the top of the tire in so it clears that fender. So you know what we're going to do first? We're going to go ahead and jack the car up and get the rear wheels off. So the way we're going to achieve some negative camber today is by adding some washers to the back of the hub. Now you may be looking at this and wondering what the heck is that piece of silver in between the brake drum and the hub. And what that is a 10 millimeter spacer, I believe. Maybe it's 15. It looks rather large. But the previous owner put that on, and they are impossible to find. I'm really happy they're there. But it's also part of the issue that we're having as to why our tire is hitting the fenders. Now this is obviously an aesthetic thing. That's why it's there. It's not really performance oriented in any way. But I do like the way the wheels look, and I actually want to push them out even further than they are. But again, there's no way I'm going to be able to do it without clearing the top of the fender by adding some negative camber. So the bolts that we're going to be focusing on, I got one here. I got one over here, I got one down here, and then one on the other side. Those 4 bolts hold the hub in place, so we're going to go ahead and loosen them up and pull out the bottom ones, because those are the ones that we're actually going to space. So I removed the 2 bottom bolts. Alright, here they are. Here's what they look like. Now if yours are OEM, they're going to be a version of this. They may be a little bit shorter, I'm not sure. But 2 bottom ones are out, 2 top ones are still in, and I'm kind of showing you here with that screwdriver wedged in between the spacer and the hub, kind of the gap that I've created in there to slide some washers in. So let me show you the washers that I have. Alright, so I got some galvanized steel washers here. Don't ask me what size they are, I'm not sure, just kind of laying around the garage. I'm going to do 2 at each bolt, okay, which is going to give me that much space. That should be enough to clear my tires. We're going to find out once I get these things installed and put everything back together. I could always add more, but I really don't want to add a ton more than just this. And the reason is that, and I'm sure I'm going to be hearing it all in the comments, this is kind of a cheap way of doing this. Some may say it's dangerous. And the reason being is that by inserting these washers, we are kind of knocking off kilt, our rear suspension. We are going to be putting force on these lower bolts that didn't have the force on it necessarily before. So it could be a extra strain on these bolts possibly, and could possibly fail. So it is definitely something that may happen. I highly doubt it, but it's certainly possible. So Yes, we are running a little bit of a risk by doing this, but in the long run, I think we're going to be just fine. Now, if you didn't want to go this route, if you want to install a spacer back there that already has some negative camber, they do sell camber kits for these cars, okay? If you go to realcamber.com, they have a -3 spacer and they have a -5 spacer. Real good guy over there. He'll be happy to help you if you don't want to try this way. So there you have it. It really wasn't that hard. Didn't fight me nearly as much as I thought it would. You can see the 2 washers at the bottom, nothing up top, and you can really see the lean now on the hub. I hope it shows up on camera. I think when we put the tire on here in 1 second, you're really going to see a difference. All right, guys, I think we fixed our problem, no doubt. Again, I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but it's really dipped in there up top pretty well. So let's go ahead and lower this thing down and see if we made some sort of progress. Oh yeah, baby. We are tucking now. We're gonna be clearing all day. Now, we have that kind of negative camber look in the rear. It's really dipped in, man. It may even be a little too aggressive. So what I think I'll probably do is jack it up one more time and take one of those washers out, because man, that really looks dipped in. Holy cow. It's pretty neat looking, honestly. But hey, we went ahead and achieved our goal. Pretty sweet. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and take 1 washer out per each side, so it'll only be 1 extra washer down below, giving us maybe, I don't know, 1 degree of negative camber. Who knows, but it should be enough for those tires to clear that fender, and that's our goal, because you know I want to add some spacers to the rear, kick those tires out even more. In order to do so, I need all the room I can get. Plus, I got some tire stencils that I want to put on the tires, and there's no use doing that if every time I hit a bump, the tire rubs and wears through the stencil. So anyway, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think that this is an inexpensive but dangerous way to get negative camber? Or do you think, you know what, 1 little washer really isn't going to make that much of a difference as far as strength, and I should be okay? One thing to note, those guys with the crazy negative camber where their tires tilted like this is how they're doing it, guys. They're going ahead and they're spacing out their rear hubs to get as much negative camber as they can. So they're using this to like a ridiculous degree to get that ridiculous look. So it's tried and true. It does work. Now, if you go crazy with it like they do, it very well may break. But I think for us, we're going to be just fine. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and thanks for stopping by the garage. We'll see you next week. Later.